grief in our culture. Like that's a natural process. We used to have where the body would rest for 2 to 3 to 4 days before it was buried, and now we outsource that and we call it the living room. I think it was a Southern Living that declared it in the early 1900s. Like it's no longer the parlor; it's now the living room, right? But we've just plucked grief out of our lives. Just this reality that things don't always work out. And we had a collective group of people. You sat in the home with a dead relative right there, right? That was just a part of the grieving process. And the body's got ways that you begin to breathe again. And somebody shows up with food, and somebody shows up with food, and somebody shows up with food. And right? It's like being at the beach and it feels like you're drowning, but you stand up and the water's just only 3 feet deep, right? And we've just, so if you leadership, dude, the number of students that would come into my office and be like, hey, I'm depressed. My dad just moved out on my mom. And I always thought, like, maybe you're clinically depressed, but I bet you're sad. And they didn't have a psychology for that. Like, we don't do that. That's a thing we solve. We solve for sad. Like, no, man, that's a basic human emotion. Let's just be sad. Like your family broke up. Your dad left. Let's sit in that. And so if you lose an important relationship, man, your body's working right if it wants you just to stay under the covers for a while. Your body's working right if you don't want to go out. Your body's working right if you don't, like, if you're like wondering, am I lovable? That's not something to be solved, man. That's something to just sit with. And if you don't have people in your life, man, your body's going to spin out on you, dude, because it knows it can't carry that burden alone. It is. We have to have a place for grief, for being sad. And I think in our current world, the only way to do it is to be what looks radical, right? I'm going to block people. I'm going to delete people. I'm going to take my phone off. I'm going to have a group of people that are going to come to my house every night for 2 weeks. I'm going to play stupid board games, something stupid, right? Or whatever. I'm going to give myself permission to not go out for a month because I'm tired. I just feel dry. Like, man, that's called just honoring the system, man. You know what I mean? It's honor the system. Because you're going to duct tape over that thing. In counseling, we say call it leakage. It'll find a way out. And it usually finds a way out at a real inopportune time. Or you can honor it and invite somebody to sit in there with you.
How can you tell if you've got leakage? What are the most typical forms of leakage?
Oh, rage. Saying the words, if they would just, and I don't even care who and what you're talking about. If they would just.
The guy in the car next to you.
Doesn't even matter. If they would just. Yeah, if you start making up imaginary stories about people, like I hear from most folks across the country that happens in the shower. You start having